This last part of the Parkinson's series focuses on one woman's life-changing procedure and how a doctor may walk you through the steps of treatment after the initial diagnosis. Our Haley Lanham joins us in the studio with more. Haley.
For this last part of the series, we will hear from a local woman who has been struggling with Parkinson's disease for 10 years. Medicine did not work, so she underwent deep brain stimulation. Let's take a look. Neurologist Dr. Mohammed Hussein says that the first step when treating Parkinson's disease is medication. Dr. Anne Murray, who is an associate professor at the WVU Rockefeller Neuroscience Institute, says that there are many different medications for different symptoms for the disease.
So the treatments can include things like medication, not just medication to kind of make them move better, but kind of medication to if they have a sleep problem or a mood problem or a thinking change or bowel and bladder changes. We address all of those things so that at the end of the day, we're treating the symptoms that are impacting their life so they can get back to living their life.
Gail McCormick tried medications at first, but it was not for her. She decided to have deep brain stimulation, or DBS. According to Johns Hopkins Medicine, DBS is where a surgeon will surgically implant thin wire-like electrodes into specific areas of the brain that control movement. The neurostimulator sends electrical pulses to the electrodes, which in turn disrupt or modulate the abnormal electrical signals in the brain that cause movement disorders.
This is me at 10 years without the DBS or medicine. And the medicine made me so sick that I lost down to like 85 pounds. So I was unable to take that medicine and nothing else really helped me.
As you can see, Gail's tremors are aggressive, but once she turns her DBS back on, the tremors subside.
Now you can see, back to normal.
Dr. Murray says the mental health of a person living with Parkinson's needs to be treated as well. She takes her patients through 3 phases.
1, give space for the reality of the weight of the diagnosis. And I literally say those terms, right? As soon as I diagnose somebody with Parkinson's disease, I know that their life and their mentality and kind of the reality of the weight of that disease will forever change the way they're thinking about it.
Phase 2 is recognition. We know what the disease is, but let's paint the picture of what the future can look like with proper care. Phase 3 is hope.
I know it's overwhelming, you have Parkinson's. I promise we're going to partner together. I'm going to treat it. We're going to figure out how to get you doing better than you are today. And that is a guarantee I'll make you. And I think part of that is then restoring hope in the fact that although this is overwhelming, there's plenty of hope to know that we can do better than very often that first appointment you ever have with neurology.
The biggest takeaway is that this is not the end of your life, but it is the beginning of your new life. According to the Parkinson's Foundation, 1 million people are living with Parkinson's disease right here in the United States. That is 90,000 people diagnosed per year. In West Virginia alone, 11,840 people are living with it, and 36,960 people are living with it in Ohio. Steps towards improving quality of life, putting an end to the disease, and advancing research are being taken. There is currently over $1.7 million in grant funding for research on exploring how the brain and the body works with Parkinson's disease. So despite the odds of having Parkinson's disease, just know that you are not alone.
Thank you, Haley. Still ahead.